Merhabalar herkese. Hepiniz IFT Talks webinarlarına hoş geldiniz. Bugün University of Guelph'te lisans ve yüksek lisans programları hakkında öğrenmeniz gereken tüm detayları Şabir'den dinliyor olacağız. Lütfen sorularınızı soru cevap bölümünden yönlendirmeyi unutmayın. Yes, Shabir, the stage is yours now.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate all of you joining. I know, you're going to go through lots of presentation over the next few weeks with different institutions. I thank my friend Zainab. I thank IEFT. I thank Salima, all my team members in IEFT. I had a really good visit this, March. Leading to that, creating an opportunity for you to meet administrative leaders like me virtually. It's very important. Very good discussions we had in the March and continuing to the discussions. Do not hesitate. I'm going to go through my presentation. It's not going to be boring. It's going to be more interesting learning about the institution, what do we offer, why, and everything. And then there's a Q&A place where you can ask questions. Don't worry if I miss some questions. I put my email address at the end of this email so that you can email me, and then we could able to have one-on-ones and things like that. But I really once again thank IEFT for giving this forum for students like you or parents like you or the community people in Turkey to take this opportunity to come learn about various institutions to make your career choices. University of Guelph, the education you need, the future you want. Where is this University of Guelph situated? This is a beautiful campus. It's a green campus, we call it. I'm only showing you 75% of the campus. It's bigger. You have few more buildings and few more labs and museums and things. But this is 75 to 80% of the campus, a green campus, vibrant campus, which has over 30,000 students. Um, University of Guelph is in Canada, and you might be asking, why study in Canada? I always ask everybody, when you look into going into any countries to study or any place you want to study, specifically look into those few of the things which I'm going to give you as a tips. Why study in Canada? Quality of education at an affordable price, safe community, chances of immigration, even though I'm not an immigration consultant, but higher chances when you go into a university, opportunities of jobs and building, diversity. I have lived in, 6 countries, but Canada, I would say Ontario specifically is very, very diverse, high quality of life. And specifically, you're looking into University of Guelph, and Guelph as a city, top 10, three of the top best cities to live are in Canada. And then this is the city of Guelph. You might be shocked to see it's a little bit replica of an Ankara, a little bit replica of a part of Turkey, but it's a vibrant city. It's not just a town or a village. It's a city. University of Guelph is situated in city of Guelph. And you might be saying, where is it located? Home away from home. People might be thinking, I'm going very far. I agree, right? People, when you travel in a flight, you agree. But think about that. Even if you go 3 hours flight, or if you go 10 hours flight, it's away. So you're home away from home. It's in Ontario, 45 to 55 minutes from the Toronto airport. Guelph is one of the top Canada's best place to live in the top 10 places. And it's also an opportunity for you to see it's very close to the US border. So City of Guelph, shopping, entertainment, as I said, it's a replica of Ankara, it's a replica of a part of Turkey, so it's culturally strong. Population is close to 153,000, unemployment rate lowest among Canada, a perfect blend of nature and city. Things to do all around, whether you're going to do skating or whether you're going to have music parties, whether you're going to have concerts. So it's a mix, and ranked as one of the Canada's top 3 safest cities. Why study at the University of Guelph? That's really important because we have over 30,000 undergraduate students, 2,200 plus international students from 140 countries. And one thing you need to understand is 183 million in annual visit. What does it mean? That means you're going to get hands-on experience. By numbers, and always people like to, we are in the top 300 to 500 universities in the world. We are top 6 comprehensive university in Canada. We are number 1 in student satisfaction. That's really important when you're sending your family member, you're coming and studying, you need to look into number 1 in Canada for residents leaving, and 92% of the students are employed within 6 months of graduation. Really important. A reputed institution, number 1 in student satisfaction, and 92% of the students getting jobs within the first 180 days. That's what, when you're looking into studying in any country, is it the place stable for me? Yes, you can graduate and you can stay for 3 years. Will I get a job? 92% of the students get job in 180 days. How's the student satisfaction? Making sure that, what do you mean by satisfaction? Experiential learning, getting a job, working on campus, having connection with faculties, having great food to eat, that means home away from home. That's what is satisfaction is all. Those are the 3 or 4 things, as I told you, the tips. Have a look on those tips. And then what does University of Guelph offers? We have 16 degree programs, 75 plus majors and 60 minors, plus minors. So you can become go into business school, bachelor's of commerce. You can take a major in marketing management, and then plus you can take a psychology. You can look into consumer behavior. This is some of the admission requirements for undergraduate. You will be thinking, what kind of admission requirements? So we accept British curriculum. So that's really important, 2 A levels and 3 O levels. So making sure that you have that minimum, A and B is 6 on 7 grades, with A is 5 unique courses. We also, admission requirement, you're looking at, IELTS or TOEFL. We accept IB as well. We accept IB, we accept British pattern, we accept all those curriculums which you're looking into. We also accept Turkish curriculum. So making sure that you fulfill all those requirements. So, but however, you might be asking, what do I need to go into a program? So if you're going into humanities, what do we call humanities? Psychology, history, English, political science, international development. If you're looking into going into those programs, you need English as one of the major, high school level English, or AP level, or A level, or IBHL level. The same time, if you're going into the science side, like say if you want to go to computing science or engineering, you need physics, chemistry, and math and English. So you need to make sure that those 4 main courses are covered. That's one of the requirements. If you say I want to go to business, you need calculus and English. And if you're going into biological sciences, animal biology, zoology, biotechnology, wildlife, marine life, you need physics, chemistry, or biology, any 2 of them, with the math, right? So physics, chemistry, or biology, out of those 3, you need only 2 of them. And then you're looking into math and English. So this is what you always have to think about. Like, what is my requirement? If you're going into any universities in these programs, whatever I said was them more. And you might be asking, my school does not offer me a physics. My school does not offer me a chemistry, or a biology. So what you can do is, like, you have online Ontario virtual schools where you can enroll yourself during the summer. We give you time, and you can complete it. You need 80% and above, which is B and above. Once you take this Ontario High School online courses, which will be accepted across the globe or across Canada. Really important. So if you're looking into admission requirement for English proficiency, as you know, Turkey's native language is not English, or you're not a native speakers, but still you study English. So we need to understand what kind of curriculum you studied and things like that. But if you take an IELTS or a TOEFL or a Duolingo, it's acceptable. Right? If you're a student who had, not English, but if you have studied full time, we need to make sure that we look into your curriculum, we look into your letter of recommendation that you studied 4 years high school in an English curriculum school. We can also review that to, if we can give an opportunity for you to waive the English proficiency. But this is all, we need to make sure that we have all the documentation. One of the important thing when you study in Canada is co-op studies. You might be saying, what is this co-op? You might have heard about internship. Internships are short terms, like, it could be 6 to 8 weeks, 8 to 12 weeks. Sometimes they're paid, sometimes they're stipend, sometimes they're not paid, they're volunteer. Because this is part of a curriculum, internships are short term. But whereas co-ops, they are paid work experience in Canada while you study your program. So I'm going to share some examples. So you're going to see that examples. So think about it. Any program you go in the current environment, You need opportunity to work. You need, questions to be asked, making sure that everything is important for you. So think about cooperative studies. So 3 to 5 terms. Each term is 4 months. So between 4 to 8 months each, throughout your degree. So out of those 75 programs, we have 70 undergraduate programs have co-op option, which is over 90%, right? Over 5,000 students are currently in co-op from University of Guelph. We are second largest university co-op program in Ontario and fifth largest university co-op program in Canada. So what does a student earn? A student earn between $7,400 to $21,000 per work term. That is 4 months. So if you calculate that, so you can earn up to $60,000 to $80,000. So many students are offered employment opportunities after you graduate with the same employer where you did your co-ops. Think about it, right? You're earning, you're getting experience for the work you're doing. The same time, you're going back to the same employer to get a full-time job after you graduate. So any time you're looking for an undergraduate degree, think about, what do I need to do? Stability of the government, making sure that then I can stay back in, whichever country I go. So Canada offers you 3 years currently, if you go to the university, and then a co-op, getting you an experiential learning, and it gets paid. That's a funding for you, right? So if 80,000 is equivalent to 1 to 1.5 years worth of your tuition fee based on the program you go. So let's see who are our employers, from Sick Kids to Amazon, even University of Guelph is a co-op employer. So we have some of the good students working for us as co-op students, and they are currently working. To this morning, one of my co-op students became an employee of the university. We hired him directly. Think about it, the opportunities you get. So this is how it looks like. This is an example of engineering, but each program, if you if you email me, I could be able to share how the co-op sequence looks like. So the first 4 semesters, you're going to study because you need to have the basic foundation. And then the summer of first year, you're going to go home, have fun, meet your family back, come back and study, and you start working. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. When you work, you're not in the classroom. You're not taking exams. You're not paying tuition fee. Or you're only paying the co-op fee. So you can understand that, term for you to understand this is how it works. So you gain so much experience when you graduate, you work and come back and work for the same employer. Okay. So you might be asking, who is going to support me? So my team supports me during the process of admission, during the process of, application and everything. Once you have done, we have a global pre-arrival team, which supports all the new international students once you get an offer of admission through their first semester. So they help you to answer the questions in housing, financial planning, course registration, health insurance, study permit applications, which is your student visa, co-op work permits, work eligibility, all the immigration. They are certified immigration consultants who help you from day one once you accept the offer. It's a great opportunity for you to come to a university, where you get an opportunity to learn while you study, earn while you study, and then have someone who will help you, handheld you to help you with all the immigration questions and help you with go through the process. And international students, your parents might be asking, okay, how about my housing? I heard Canada has a challenge in housing. We offer guaranteed housing for all the international students as of today. So you need to pay the deposit within the timeline, for this year, it's June 1st, 2026. So if you pay the deposit by 2026, international students are eligible for guaranteed housing. So we have 13 unique residence communities. We have traditional suites. We have townhouse style, single double. You can see some of them, right? You can see example you share. So the first year Canadian citizens and permanents applying from outside Canada also guaranteed for the first year of your studies. So for all international studies, guaranteed housing for the period of your academic endeavors. But for the Canadian citizens and permanent residents living in Turkey, the first year is guaranteed. And again, we talk about student satisfaction. Our campus food is well known. International flavors, local ingredients. We are ranked #1 for campus food in Canada over 10 years. You can see variety of food, halal food, making sure that students can, follow whatever their, culture follows, right? So we have variety of food for you. So that means you're taken care, education, experiential learning, guaranteed housing, food, and when you graduate, go back to the same employer you did co-op with. See, that is what we talk about student satisfaction. Student finances, that's really important for you to know how much is my fees. A tuition fee varies based on the program. From 44,000, that's a tuition fee, up to $63,000 Canadian per year. You need to calculate that whether it's a USD or pounds you want to calculate. So 44,000 to 63,000 is the range of tuition fee you're looking at based on the programs. And overall, if you're looking into an arts or an applied science, an arts and science program, you're looking at 64,000, which includes your compulsory fee, textbooks, health insurance, residence fee, personal expenses totally. And when you compare with engineering, it's 88,000 Canadian dollars. You can see a wide range of fees for based on the program you choose. And funding. This year we offer up to $37,000 over the period of 4 years. So this is how your calculation looks like, So you get first year 15,000 and every year you get 7,500. What do I need to do? It's based on your grades. It's purely merit based. It's based on your grades. We take the Turkish curriculum, the IB curriculum, the English curriculum, or the American curriculum. We convert that into an Ontario based curriculum grading scale, and based on the scale, think about that. Even if you have like 70% to 85%, you get up to $32,000. If you get 95% plus, you get 37. The only thing is the first year is you get it immediately, right? Based on your grades, you got it. The second year, third year, fourth year, you have to maintain 80% and above. That's really important. We wanted you to make sure that, the merit is based on every year continuous you maintaining your grades. And then additional scholarship. We have an international tuition scholarship for $2,000. And then for all the scholarship, entry-level scholarship, you don't have to write an essay or anything. The only main thing you need to do is get your grades. The focus should be on your grades. And then we have a president scholarship, which is a deadline. That president scholarship is where you apply, you need recommendation, you need to have a letter. So that's the biggest scholarship you do offer. And then we also have, if any international students coming as a transfer student from other institution, we offer one time $10,000 scholarship. So you can earn 37,000. Think about that. You get, let's say, $60,000 in your co-op and you get $37,000, you already earned $100,000. And think about that. If you're doing psychology, you cover 2 years worth of your tuition fee. If you're doing business, you cover 2 years worth of your tuition fee. If you do engineering, you covered 1.5 years of worth of tuition fee. You see, your parents only have to support you either 2 years or 2.5 years of your tuition fee. It also reduces your financial burden. Your scholarship, your co-op will support. So look into those aspects. Whenever you're applying to any university, ask them, do you have more than 3 or 4 terms of can I work for 12 months while I study as a part of a co-op? Can I get salaried? So all these details are available on the website, because you and I are meeting only once as a webinar. It's a great opportunity for you to look into our website, ask questions to our current students who are doing co-ops. There are lots of our students who work who are also available as student ambassadors. They answered honestly like what they do, what kind of co-op they do, how much they earn, which is publicly available. And then apart from that, College of Humanities and College of Arts, we call it CISA and College of Arts, they do offer $10,000, 37,000 plus 10,000. Think about it. 37,500 plus 10,000. So we offer. And also a School of, School of Business also offers for the online program, an online sports and event management major program. They also offer you to $15,000 scholarship. So there are various scholarship and funding model for you to use. Just don't think scholarship as the only thing. Look into co-op as one more opportunity. Look into campus jobs as one more opportunity for you to support your funding. So there are huge opportunities, because financial literacy when you're coming in studying abroad is really important. However, scholarship is good, but co-op is really important for you. Okay. And there are other scholarship when you go onto our website from second, third year. Apart from these entry-level scholarship, you can also apply for department level. This is very small, but you can see each college have their scholarships, right? So from second year on, based on your grades you get, right? How to apply? As you know, it's an online application. You need to apply directly through the website. Sometimes you can apply through OVAC, Ontario Common App. You can apply. Required documentation you need to submit and accept your offer. So these are some of the few dates for this year. As you know, we are closer to application acceptance and offer of accepting the housing and everything is taking place. Making sure that if you've already applied, let me know. Email me if you've already accepted the offer. I'll connect you to my colleagues to make sure that they help you with student visa and things. And this is where you can connect with some of my colleagues and other one-on-one meetings. And if you have questions, I'm going to read it. And this is my email. Take a picture. And email me if you have questions. Thank you so much. Let me go back to your questions. Okay. Wonderful question. The first question is, do you offer co-op options? Thank you so much. It's a great opportunity. Someone has asked me. Yes, indeed. I've already shared my slide with you guys on co-op. Yes, we do offer co-op. Very, very great question. I really like the person who asked this question to me. So I would say a great opportunity for you all to look into the co-op opportunities. Okay, I'm going to make sure that I put the slides again for you all to see those questions. So if you take my email and you can email me, I'm going to put that in things as well. So we do offer co-ops as we talked about. Great question, right? Great question to all of you. We do offer co-op for all those 70 programs I talked about. These are the employees we work with. There are more. This is just an example. And this is how it terms looks like. Let me go back to the next question. Okay. Next one. When can we start working? It's based on the program. Some program starts in the second year beginning. Some program starts from the end of the second year. So it's based on the program. The co-op starts. This is an example which I'm sharing you. That's really important for you to look into based on the program you do have. Are there any scholarship for domestics who study in Turkey based on grades? Absolutely. I did share, talked about those things. Very good questions. All international school students get scholarship based on the grades, right? It's merit based, so all the students get based. So make sure that you understand, but whenever you apply with the co-op, don't worry about it. Apply with co-op and have good grades. The grades will give you scholarships, so up to $37,000. And if you're going into, College of Humanities and College of Arts programs, socials, applied humanity sciences and College of Arts programs, you also get extra scholarship as well. You need to understand, first year is based on your high school grades. Second, third year based on you maintain 80% above in the university, right? You continuously get. Next question, very good question. What challenges do international students usually face in their first semester, and what supports exist? Okay, we have lots of student groups. What are the challenges they face? Homesick, right? I'm missing my home. Food. I'm missing my friends. Courses I did need to study. So there are lots of student groups available, lots of associations available. As I talked about, global pre-arrival support is available until you come here. Then we have student advisory teams. We have a strong student body which supports you and strong student support system which is available for you, right? The only thing is you have to take those things which is available. Normally students would say, oh, I don't know it was exists. So knock on to all the doors. There are lots of support for you in the institution. Seda, I hope I answered your question. So next question. This meeting recording will be sent by IEFT, or you can email me that you and I can have one-on-one questions, right? As I talked about, I currently shared the fall, deadlines. I shared it with you here, the fall 2026. Let me go back to this slide. These are the timelines. The winter timelines are available on our website. Once it's published, email me, I could tell you. Um, Great question. So, one of the other question is, okay. Um, I was wondering, how does Guelph help internationals gain Canadian workers before graduation? Okay. As I said, co-op is one of the great opportunity that gives you experiential learning in the field of your studies. Let's say if you're an electrical engineering, let's say if you're a civil engineering, let's say you're mechanical, mechatronics, environmental engineering, or you're looking into those ranges, or you're in commerce, or you're in political science, or in psychology. When you sign up for the co-op, you go and work in the same field which you studied. So that gives you full work experience while you study. It's part of your curriculum. Apart from that, you can also work in campus jobs and things. That is more of an, campus job opportunities to work in a professional environment. But the co-op really gives you opportunity to work in the field of your studies. I hope, Ramzan, I answered your question. Um, how flexible it is to switch majors after the first year. It is flexible based on your grades, based on what you maintain. If you don't have a grades, question mark. If you didn't maintain your required GPA, question mark, right? So it's still flexible, but you need to understand when you're trying to fix, or switch majors, think about you're going from political science to biological science. Very challenging because you might need physics, chemistry, or physics or chemistry, or chemistry or biology, but with the math. If you don't come with that, then you need to take those courses before you switch, or whether they accept. And so it's question. If you're moving from political science to business, still you need a math. From business to political science, or business to psychology, easy. Switching is, our flexibility is higher, but if you don't meet the requirement, then it becomes a challenge. Seda, I hope I answered your question. I've seen one of my student who's my current student who works in my department. She came to study Bachelor's of Mechanical Engineering, but she said she loved mathematics. First year she studied mathematics, she loved it, and then the next year she moved into mechanical engineering. But she told me, not all the courses are same in mathematics and mechanical engineering. I can only transfer 2 or 3 courses. That means I have to study 6 more months or 9 more months more. You need to understand that's a flexibility. That's the challenges. Um, can you give me examples of international student communities? We have 300 plus communities. I could say sports community. There are Muslim student association community. There are Middle East student community. There are so many. Caribbean student community, Latin American. There are 300 plus student international student community on campus. You can go to our website on the student experience portal. You have all those things. Um, how can I make my stand out? Okay. The main important thing is your grades, right? That's really important thing for you is your grades, and then all the leadership activities, all the things which you do, which would be really helpful when you're in the campus to work in the student organizations, to apply for on-campus jobs and other opportunities. Do you also provide French language supports during the course of the education? You can take, French language courses inside the university as a course that will really support your education. So, yes, what levels grade you're submitting? 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th. And if you're looking into each curriculum is different. If you're looking into IB, you're looking into HL and SLs and your high school grades. If you're looking into US curriculum, you're looking into 9, 10, 11, 12. Turkish curriculum is the same. But you need to have a diploma. If you're looking into, British curriculum, you're looking into O levels and A levels or AS levels. So each, curriculum, you need to understand, you need to submit your high school grades. I hope I answered your question. I hope I answered all your questions. If I have missed anything, as I told you, I'm going to share my, email address. Shoot me an email. Do not hesitate. I would be happy to answer your questions. I always tell students, ask questions. That's really important. Ask questions, so that we could able to support each and every student. When you ask questions, that not only clarifies your doubt, it also gives you more opportunity and more power to make a decisions. When you don't ask questions, then it becomes very challenging. Oh, I'm not able to, make a decision because I'm not able to I don't have the answer for those questions. So I always tell students, ask questions. Whomever, any institution you meet, don't think any question is a silly or a challenging questions. We would be happy to answer you. If you look into all those 11, 12 questions I answered, they're all important questions for all of you, right? People always have. Do you have one more question? I said, do you have a special scholarship opportunity for Turkish students? Currently, we don't have special scholarship for Turkish students. For all international students are special to us. So we have scholarship for all the international students. But there could be a scholarship body in Turkey which would support your application to Canada, to University of Guelph. Look into those opportunities. We'd be happy to support if they need any documentation for acceptance letters or letter of admissions, we would be happy to give it to you. I know, I'm going to receive all the people who have registered for this event. I'm going to share my email. I'm going to share some of the links for you to make a decision. I also will share once the winter session opens. If some of you miss these deadline and say, I forgot to submit. One thing you need to understand. If you want to come as a transfer student, you need to understand you don't get the entry level as a student what the first year students. You get a transfer scholarship and you become a transfer students. If you come from high school directly to the university, you are first time student. If you go from high school to another university or to another institution, post secondary institution, and then come, you always consider as transfer students. Currently, we do not offer an online doctoral degree. Oh, yeah, we offer close to 20 plus course-based master's program for students who wants to study masters. So I put my email address. If you want to do master's program, just email me. The admission criteria for each program is different. So making sure that we answer all those questions as well for you. Any more questions? I hope you enjoyed. I don't want to keep, I want to keep this presentation very interesting by answering questions, by making sure that I give feedback to each of your questions. The presentation is based on your questions. We covered about what do we offer, why do you study in Canada, why do you study in Guelph, what kind of scholarship available, what is co-op looks like, why co-op is important, what kind of visa support do we offer, what kind of student support we do offer. Those are the important things, really key for you to, answer those questions. So if you have any other questions, let me know. I'd be here, but I'll give back to Zainab to answer your questions or anything. Thank you so much for joining me today. Have a wonderful evening for all of you.
Yes, thank you very much for the great presentation, Shaber. We had a lot of questions and you covered them all. Thank you for your answers as well. And also I would like to thank the participants in Turkish too. Katıldığınız için teşekkür ederiz arkadaşlar. Umarım sizin için de faydalı bir webinar olmuştur. University of Guelph ile ilgili diğer sorularınız için ekranda görmüş olduğunuz mail adresinden Shabir'e her zaman ulaşabilirsiniz. Bir sonraki webinarlarımızda görüşmek üzere. Thank you very much again, Shabir. It was a pleasure to have you in our IFT talks.
Thank you so much, Zainab. We'll see you again when I visit in Turkey. Please come and see me. My colleague Zainab or Salima would be there to support you as well. Ask questions, email us. Okay. Have a wonderful day.
Yes, thank you very much. Have
Thank
a
you.
great
Bye-bye.
day. Bye-bye.